welcome everybody. Welcome everybody to our Wow Wednesday testimonial call. This call is designed to invite any new people that are interested in the scanner, or for you that have been using the scanner, to come on, share your testimonials that you're using this with clients or even family, anybody like that. Those testimonials are all welcome, and it's on any of the devices we have, any of the products we have. Any of those things can be discussed on this call. And if you are new to our call, please follow up with the person that invited you here, because the whole intention is to expose you to what the AO scanner is, what our products are all about, so that if you have a deeper interest, you can follow up with the person that invited you here. I am Tammy Ward, and my other host is Dr. Sheila Day. Dr. Sheila Day, do you have anything you would like to add?
I do. Good evening, everyone. It's so great to see you, and thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be here. Just a reminder, I am sure that you all are noticing something every day, and you might consider it just to be trivial or repetition, but it might be something that someone else needs to hear. It might be a reminder of something maybe they're not using. It might be a light flicker on of like, oh, I never thought about that. It might be, oh my gosh, I know somebody else that has that or needs that. So please share even the simplest things, because you just don't know who needs to hear that.
Yeah. And so many do need to hear what we have and what we have with these products. Okay, I'm going to say a quick disclaimer. Oh, I'm hearing feedback. But the AO scan technology or anything else that is associated with that has not been evaluated by the FDA. It is not meant to mitigate or treat or cure any type of disease. If you are sick, please consult with your healthcare professional. But with anything in the background that you see, we can talk about any of Solex products. Feel free to unmute yourself. Share any type of testimonial you may have, big or small. It can be the littlest thing, like Dr. Sheila said. We just want to hear what kind of success you're having with the AO scanner or with any of the products. So I'm going to take this screen away so that I can spotlight people, and we'll get started. So if you have anything to contribute to this call, please just unmute yourself and speak freely. Get some of these people muted. All right, go ahead, and we'll go ahead and get started. There's Dr. Darrell.
I have something to share.
Yeah, go for it, Jody.
Hello. A couple weeks ago, I was out of town and 2 hours away, and my neighbor here called me and said her son was having an allergic reaction. Actually, she texted me. Was having an allergic reaction, and she wanted to talk to me about this scanner thing that I had. And I said, okay, can you give me some information on him? And she said, well, we're in the car. I'll be home in about 5 minutes and I'll call you. So I'm thinking, if he's having an allergic reaction, I'm gonna start running something on him. So I just pulled up the homeopathy and put in allergic reaction. I had some information on him anyway, scanned for which ones he needed, let it run individually for about the first 3. And she called me about 15 or 20 minutes later and said, well, I think he's okay. Do you still want that information? I said, well, when did he start getting better? And she said, we weren't home yet. We were still in the car right after she had messaged me. He started getting better. So I got the rest of the information and ran a full scan on him just to see if it was food or what was going on with him. So they were happy with that, but a little leery because they didn't understand the technology. So I told her I'm out of town. When I get back, we'll go over this. Well, 2 days later, she texted me again. he's having another allergic reaction. He's got hives. Can you run that scan again? So I start the homeopathy again, and I text her back and I said, would you please let me know when he starts to get better? And she texts me immediately back and said, it is gone. This is amazing.
Oh my goodness.
So
That's
that was
great.
cool. Yep, he's
It's
2,
cool.
so yeah. And they're first-time parents, so yes,
Oh,
super excited.
is mom interested in being able to do this for herself?
I don't know. I just spoke with them the other day, and yeah, they're quite leery right now, but yeah, I'll still work on them.
Yeah, they can
He's
be
all
empowered to do that themselves.
exactly, and they're in a position now where they're going to have another little baby here pretty soon, and she's questioning, daycare, and so, maybe thinking of being an at-home mom, and so this would be perfect for them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So that was really, really exciting. That was. I mean, I'm like, wow, that was quick.
No kidding. That should have got her attention.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. So thank you. I wanted to share that.
Thank you for
You.
sharing.
Yeah.
I just it's no known thing, but my daughter-in-law is pregnant again. So for baby number 3, they thought they were only going to have 2, and so she's pregnant with her 3rd. So I've immediately taken a picture of her belly and put the baby in as a profile and been scanning that daily too. So and she's had just a very minimal of kind of the morning sickness, but not like she had with Madeline, and she feels like she's having another girl. So we'll see. I'm definitely running stuff for her and them and getting amazing feedback. And another thing that I'm doing that anybody with an AO scanner can do is I've got little bracelets for the grandbabies, and I've been imprinting those every 3 days, remotely. And one of them I'm using on Maddie. She kind of gets a little moody from time to time. We call her Moody Maddie too, and she doesn't like that. But so I've been doing like a good mood playlist for her and imprinting her bracelet every 3 days, or every Wednesday and every Sunday is when I do this. And after I scan everybody. And then Samuel has some behavioral issues, and she's homeschooling both the kids. So I've been doing a playlist for him for his behavioral issues. And he went to a little, like a Mother's Day out thing, and the teacher there reported back that his attention and everything is so much better than it has been even prior years. So I was like, well, then maybe doing this on a regular basis, along with scanning and optimizing on a daily basis, because they were kind of touch and go, but I've got him committed to let me doing it every day. So that has been huge. I mean, the consistency. I mean, I would scan and optimize them periodically, but not on a regular basis. And now that they're willing, and I've been doing that, wow, what a difference. What a difference.
Wow. You just convicted me here.
You?
Yeah. I need to be doing more with my family.
Oh, yeah. And it takes me, it literally, I don't usually get finished because I scan myself, I scan the girls, and then I scan my family, and I scan my son that's not here. And so there's 5 in their family plus 2 dogs, and then my son. And I mean, I do everybody before, and it's usually about 10 o'clock in the morning when I'm finally finished with everybody. But it's been good. It's been real good.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Gregory. Go ahead with your hand.
Yeah, like since we're on the family topic, right? So my niece, I got her to do a scan, and supporting them that way. And one Monday morning, I'm on my way to work, and I get a call that she was shot. And I knew exactly what I had to do, but I couldn't do it right then. So I was like 2 minutes from work. I only live like 10 minutes from work. But on the way to work, I got the call. I went to my employer, told them that I had to go. Went home, picked up my scanner, and I scanned her. I picked up the phone and I called her mom, and I said, "The bullet is here, and it went in from here." And she said yes.
Wow.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
And she was having problems breathing because it was messing up her diaphragm,
Oh,
Oh.
and it was showing up in the report.
Oh my word.
So when it comes to, like, I'm getting chills talking about this story, even though I've told it before, but in this context, we have to get as many people in our database because you never know when it's going to be needed.
yep.
That is an excellent point. Thank you
That
so
is-
much. Were you able to share images or anything with the doctors, or was that even anything to mess with?
At the time, like, with the main trauma center here in the city, definitely nobody's going to be listening to me.
Okay.
I didn't go to the hospital. I saw everything remotely, and everything was confirmed right there and then. But with I think I told you guys the story about my wife, and the doctors or her family physician wants to see me now. So one by one, we can help people see exactly what we see. But as I said, at the end of the day, it's all about when you don't know when really shit's gonna hit the fan. Do you have everything in place to run the scan?
Yeah,
Man.
that's a good
What was
point.
the outcome with her?
Healing. She healed very fast. I scanned her pretty much every second of the day.
Wow.
They said that she, compared to being shot in the back and the bullet ended up in her shoulder, didn't damage any organs really. But yeah, she healed pretty fast, and she doesn't really call me anymore. But she told me thank you.
Hey, that's
Wow.
awesome.
Saints.
but yeah, like, even the other stories, like, yeah, other stories that I can say that I can't say, but you know what I mean. Like, I've seen so much things that just with her alone, much less other people.
Wow.
That's incredible. Thank you for sharing.
That's why this is called Wow Wednesday.
Right.
Can I say something, please?
Sure.
I am going to vote for us to just end this call now because nobody's topping that.
Oh.
So we are all wasting our time trying. Nobody should feel
No!
any extra effort.
Listen, I'll tell you what, every little thing counts. It doesn't matter. Like, my story might seem over the top, but guess what? The little details somebody might be missing, and they might need it in order to put the pieces together.
Yep.
I'm going to say, though, that you did, when you said that we need to have everybody in the scanner, I really am taking that to heart, because he's so right.
Yeah.
When it's time to scan somebody, that's not the time when you need to be trying to get a voice, a picture, trying to figure out their height and their weight. None of that. You need to just be able to click that button. So I'm going to really take that to heart and make sure that everyone that I know is just already in there, whether I'm scanning them on a regular basis or not. I want them to be in my scanner so that if I do have to scan them, it's a one-click process.
Yep.
So thank you for sharing that.
Conviction number 2.
Yeah, worst case scenario, you can guesstimate on, everything. And sometimes on Facebook, you can see their birthdays. If they are somebody that's on Facebook and they have shared that. So I have done that in the past, is, knowing that I would have full permission, but that is another thing that you can do. But yeah, plan ahead, get them in there, And honestly, I can also add this. When we were at where were we? I think we were at Day of Discovery, and we had Naughty. It was back. It was on the March Day of Discovery, and we had somebody that fell sick. I didn't have her in my scanner, but what we did was put a picture of her and put her in spaces and objects, and then ran a playlist that way. So you can always do that in a pinch. Don't think that you have to have all of their information. You can get a picture of them, because we're talking about energy, and as long as you have a picture and you put their name in spaces and object, it will still go to them. So just don't get hung up on the specifics.
Absolutely. Wow. I was just sitting here counting how many weeks we've been doing this, and it's a minimum of 44 weeks. And every single week, there's not been one single week out of this whole year that I have not learned something or been convicted about something. Crazy.
It is crazy. This is a great space to be able to share and uplift people and encourage you to keep plugging. You might think that this little tiny device is such a small thing, but it can do such big things. I mean, even today when I was walking in the park, I saw a little goose that had its little leg was maimed. Something was wrong. And my first thought was, well, get it in the scanner and run a playlist. And I'm looking forward to possibly going back Friday and seeing if the goose is still there, because it was, it was with a group, and they were different colored. They weren't like your dark brown geese that you see around Oklahoma. This one was kind of a pretty white and gray. And I was like, I told Scott, I said, it's almost like they're here for a stopover to help this little goose get better. Anybody else have anything they'd like to share? Congratulations,
Oh,
Cassandra! 1 year with Solex today.
yay.
Congrats.
That is awesome. Something I was going to share last week, but I got caught talking about broadcasting to my parents. And I just want to thank again whoever it was that told us we could mute those tabs, because that was very empowering.
It was.
But I am using the Mind Sync, and I am having huge shifts internally. Last week in the gym, most of you know that I started working out in January. I've got some personal goals and started bodybuilding. Last week, I hit a personal record every single day. And then 2 of the 3 days this week, I am still hitting records, and she just keeps pushing because something shifted inside of me. It just got me out of my I can't do this thing. And even in business, there's things shifting where it's getting easier than it was before. And it's like, this is how I use it. And I told Lauren, I said, yeah, I do mine before bed because, and this is how I coach people anyway. When you wake up in the morning, you need to be writing down gratitude, the things you're grateful for, because that starts your day in an attitude of gratitude instead of, oh my gosh, I got all these things to do. And when you go to sleep at night, Joe Dispenza is very clear on reprogramming your brain. So think about the things that you're setting the tone for what your brain is going to think about while you're sleeping, instead of, oh, I got to do this tomorrow. Oh my gosh, this was a crappy day. I mean, all those things. People should not go to sleep with those kinds of thoughts. So I do my mind sync before bed, and I listen a couple of times with the headphones so that I can get that crossing the consciousness. And then I turn it down to where I can still hear my voice that my cells respond to. I'm so grateful for that. And I let that play all night long. And where I thought it might keep me awake because I was a crappy sleeper, I am sleeping like a baby. And I am waking up feeling more refreshed. And I am hitting new records that I never thought possible. She actually videoed me today because we went up incredible weights. And it was like, how did I do that? It's a mind. It's all in here. This thing is so powerful. It can change your lives.
Yeah. Now you're a single person, right? So you don't have, so when you turn it way down low, it's just broadcasting your voice in the room.
Yeah. I put it on my nightstand next to the
Yeah.
bed. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I like to do mine that way too, is do my, that's when I've noticed that I have the bigger shifts too, is when I do it at nighttime. Because I've played around with it and I've done it in the morning and then I've done it midday, but nighttime seems to be the best. But I
Yeah.
can't, for some reason, I can't leave the earplugs in and listen all night long because I do not sleep. I've tried it.
I couldn't
And,
do that either.
and trying to broadcast that in the room with a spouse next, I don't think that would work for me either. So thank you for sharing that. Maybe I'll go in. Maybe we'll have to sleep in separate rooms.
Maybe once a week so you can get your jam on.
Right.
That would be challenging.
Yeah, it would be. But that's awesome to know. I love the mind sync too. And I love to feel that and hear, oh wow.
I'm telling you, when Lauren decided to let us use our voice, that is the most ingenious thing anyone could have ever done.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so too. I think that it's going to have incredible results with so many people. So,
Yeah.
I have to tell y'all, I was on the verge of purchasing a brain tap when it came out with MindSync, and I did not purchase the brain tap, and I am just absolutely pleased with the results of the MindSync. I'm working on getting into the habit of using it more and more.
mhm.
Yeah. Lauren told me he was giving Dr. Porter a run for his money.
Nice.
I have brain tap too, but I don't use it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Becky doesn't use it anymore either, and Jan's fixing to, or Jen Kathy's fixing to get rid of hers too. I was actually going to buy Jen Kathy's from her, and then now I'm like, I don't need it. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. And I think that there's other technologies that come along. We just need to be patient because Lauren, if it's worth having, Lauren will make it better, and
Yes.
we'll get one.
I agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, unless it's at a very affordable price point, because I did purchase something recently, but it was very affordable, and it's not like its own standalone. So, and it's not really a network marketing company. So I felt like, yeah, this would be a nice marriage and addition to what I'm doing. So I did do that, but I have a feeling that when we get our hubs, that will be replaced by our hubs. So. All right. Anybody else want to share anything?
I want Gregory to explain this $2,300.
I know. What is that?
So I kind of came on and I told you guys that I crossed the conscious mind barrier that one time. And after I did that, I got $1,000 put into my bank account. And everybody told me that I was not going to get that money. But all of a sudden, the money came into my account. So I was like, okay, mind sync. So the next week came, $1,300 came into my account. And I was like, I didn't even use the mind sync again. I was like, I told my mentor, my billionaire mentor, I was like, you know what? When I actually use this thing, I wonder what's actually gonna happen. But yeah, definitely. I was blown away just getting across that barrier, but actually seeing the results when Lauren actually said when you use it, you actually get the shifts. I mean, that shift was really, how could I put it, needed at the time.
Yeah. Incredible. Incredible. Well, that was amazing.
Well, I'm just going to have to say, if we're going to talk about making money with Solex and with the frequency stuff, I have been in Becky's money blocks group for, I don't know, 3 times now. And I have made an like incredible amount as far as profit goes in our property sales and stuff like that.
Very nice. All right. Anybody else?
Just to piggyback on the back of those, you guys do realize that you can only attract what you're vibrating at, which is why Inner Voice and Mind Sync are so powerful, because it really is the law of attraction, because the vibration that you're at only attracts that vibration. So you have to raise your own to raise what's coming to you.
Yep. So true.
Well said.
Okay, I know somebody's got something to tell us. Come on, somebody share something.
I'm down a dress size. Of course, I shared that on Facebook. So
No, it's
just one
amazing and it's
size.
worth a share.
Yeah.
Absolutely worth a share again. It's amazing. I'm so proud of you, my friend.
I am just so happy. And guys, I cannot tell you, and I know the pulse is what's doing it. I just know it. And of course, it's probably a combination of everything. I'm not going to discount that because I'm doing a lot of things, but it was when I really started using the pulse that I started seeing this big shift, because I have been to the gym in the past. We're always very clean eaters. We're very cognizant about what we put on our body, in our body. And, for the longest time, I have just struggled and struggled. And whenever I ran out of the pulse for, it seemed like 2 weeks, I was at a standstill. And then I got it back in and started using it, and I went right back underneath that number again. So it's like, it's got to be this pulse. And I did the 3 nights of the colon cleanse thing. And let me tell you, that stuff really does work. I'd forgotten how well and it's not a blowout type thing. It's not anything like that, but just the whole, what you see in your scan whenever you're doing your scan results, and you see all these numbers starting to improve, with your digestion, with your colon and things like that, you're onto something. So make sure when you're scanning and optimizing yourself and you start something new, make note of where you were and then reassess to where you're at after you've completed like a regimen, or maybe a couple of weeks of something. Well, I'm getting feedback. But anyway, just make yourself be aware of those things, because you're going to find that there are so many improvements going on that you didn't realize. Had you not, you've got to keep track. You got to keep good track of this stuff. So uh it's amazing. Yes, the colon cleanse is Solex X. It comes in a black box, and it's got a big gold X on the front of it. And it comes in little packets like our shareable, like our gold, and then I think even Solex Gold, Solex X, they have shareables on that too. But you just take it 3 nights a month is what Lauren told me to do, and I did it around the full moon time, and then just do that every month, at least 3 nights in a row, and it will help to absorb your nutrients and things, because it cleans the colon walls. So add that to the regimen. But I'm just so flippin' excited. I just feel so much better. Oh, thank you, Vicky.
It's got dual speakers. It goes around your head. Scott's not going to hear it. You're not going to have the headband on, the headset on. I mean, these things are amazing.
I'll have to look that up. But see, I sleep with a VPAP too, so it's just a lot having something in your ears, on your face, and anyway. But I'll look into it.
You may be getting rid of that CPAP before you know it with this pulse.
Well, that's not. I have central sleep apnea, which is a little different. I also have a little obstructive, but it's more central sleep apnea. It's where the brain doesn't tell the lungs to breathe.
I did not know that, Tammy. I have a veteran I'm working with that has that. I'll be in touch.
Yeah. Yeah. I literally hold my breath for minutes upon minutes. Scott would, are you alive? I'm okay. I'm okay. But I was falling asleep at work, and it was almost like I had narcolepsy or something, because I was just dozing off all the time.
I have a question.
Yes.
Somebody asked about blue and contraindications, and I know that Dr. Bennett had that slide of what the contraindications were, but Alice commented that blood pressure was an issue with blue, and I'm not following how that is. I understand pulse is a blood pressure regulator. If it's high, it brings it down. If it's low, it brings it up. But how is blue working in the mitochondria a blood pressure contraindication?
Good question. Is anybody on here? Can you
Well-
answer that? I remember it, but I can't comment on it. Go ahead.
I don't recall him saying that.
Remember also, they have done extensive research, and our dosing is way under standard dosing. And he did state that with our low dosing that is still effective, the contraindications aren't so much with this low dosing. It shouldn't be an issue.
That's what I was thinking, but it was like, okay, well, we're below the standardized normal low dose.
Yeah.
We're nanoparticleized, so we have better absorption. And he has all these cases where he hasn't had any side effects. So I was very perplexed by that.
Yeah, well, he did state that the side effects should not be an issue with such a low dose. And so for me, if it was me and I had high blood pressure and I wanted to try it, I would do my own test, and I would take the 10 pumps twice a day, and I would monitor my blood pressure every day to see if I noticed any changes.
Okay.
But I honestly believe that with the low dose that we're using, it is so effective at that low dose, it's not going to affect blood pressure.
Yeah. I'm looking back on those slides too, and it's not saying any of that. So I don't know where. I think maybe in high doses, yeah, like Dr. Sheila says, but not with ours. It's nano, so
I think methyl blue, as it is on the standard market, might have an impact somehow. But ours, being with all the new technology and research and tweaking and whatnot that he did to find his product. So thank you. Just I couldn't get my head through the physiology of how that was impacting it, if it's having its impact and utilization in the mitochondria and on ATP, where that was impacting the blood pressure.
Yeah.
Ladies, I have a question about pulse and blue. Is there a time that you wait in between when you take them? I take all my pills in the morning and I want to get it done and done. Out the door, I'm gone. Is there any time we should wait in between?
That's how I've been doing mine, and I'm not having any issues now. I will put my pulse and all of my liquids and powders in one little cup with some water, And then I do my blue all by itself. I just pump it in the back of my throat and swallow it. I don't like doing it in water. I just don't. I just rather put it in the back of my throat. That's usually the first thing I do, and then I mix up all my other stuff, and then I drink the pulse with all my other things together. Now, I think that if you were doing some sort of a binder or something, you wouldn't want to do a binder with these products. You don't do that at the same time.
And Kai's been testing these for months before they were launched, and he uses the pulse and the blue in a glass of water before he goes out for his run in the morning. So that's what I started doing before I leave for the gym. I love it, and I'm getting good results.
Yeah.
And it doesn't stain your mouth when you put it in a glass of water with the pulse, and it tastes better.
Oh.
We do 2 minutes of blue and swallow, then put pulse in, hold it sublingual 2 minutes, and then swallow, and then come out and do the OHS glutathione.
I can't handle holding it in my mouth.
Well, it's under your tongue, so you don't really taste it.
Yeah, no, not doing it. I keep doing it my way.
I tried at the first and it didn't work for me. So
Yeah.
I do it the way Kai does it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like it just down the hatch.
Now, one thing I am noticing is some days on the same dose, there's nothing. And then the next day, yeah, and then the next day, same dose, it's just the little pinpricks on my skin.
Yeah.
And then a different day, it's like, oh, holy cow. Oh, please stop. Finish. I mean, I am beet red. Ken looks at me and goes, when did you go out in the sun? I'm like, I didn't. It's pulse. I mean, it's a good 15 minutes that you're going, okay. And it's all on the same dose.
Yeah, that's why Lauren has Quick Scan, where you can find out exactly what you need each day, because you don't have the same needs every day and things are changing every day in your system.
Okay. I hear you. Start scanning more.
Yep.
Seriously.
And a cold shower.
There you go.
It's funny when I'm going to spray mine. Sometimes I just hear this message of you only need 10 today, or you might need 12 today. And I just go with it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good way to do it too. Cause this morning I was like, I couldn't get it to pump out. So I just poured a little bit in my glass. I probably did too much, and seeing yesterday I did the same thing, Carol. I took it and I even looked at Scott. I said, I don't think I flushed today. He said, I saw how red you were. You flushed. You just didn't feel it like you normally do. And I'm like, well, that's weird. I like to feel it.
That's awesome. I wanted to mention something. I talked to Lauren today about something, and he was mentioning our negative ion, all of our negative ion stuff. And he just got lit up talking about how we have got something really honed in here and how important it is that everybody's wearing some kind of a negative ion, whether it's the ring, the bracelet, the patches, the insoles, because we were discussing EMFs, because this is a hot topic and we cannot control this stuff, but he has worked so hard to give us things to help protect ourselves and our families. So please make sure that you're looking into whatever works for you. Lauren likes the ring. He doesn't like bracelets. Kai likes bracelets. I love bracelets. Some people love the insoles. Those insoles are pretty flippin' cool, because not only are they negative ion that you're walking on all day and the cushion that it adds, but you can also imprint all of these things. But I just wanted to remind everybody about the intensity that's coming at us and what we have to help mitigate that.
Lauren shared with me about the negative ion patch, and to put a couple drops of blue on your skin and put the patch over the top of it. So I have a little blue tattoo on my left boob.
Very nice.
I don't know. He just said every one of us that are concerned about breast cancer should be having that patch, put it in your bra. And he said, and if you don't mind the blue, put a couple drops of blue on it. So
And these are what the patches look like. They're just little thin, very, very thin, little flexible. And we as women, you can put them in between, in your breast or in your pockets, in your shoes, but make sure you put them in the socks. Because I've seen some people say that they put it between their shoe and their sock and they're walking in, and I guess the little thing falls out. So put it in your sock, put it inside your bra. You can also put it in between your phone case and your phone. um I have other mitigators there, so I haven't used a patch there, but I do like to wear the patches in my bra. So
And some men like to wear them on the top of their head under their ball caps.
yeah, that's another good way. So it's kind of like having your little EMF beanies on, and shoot, anything that you can mitigate. I know that my son is not very much. My older son is not very much a believer in my stuff and my woo woo voodoo stuff, is what he calls it. But I got him a bracelet. Oh, I don't know, a couple Christmases ago, and we were at the house the other night on at family night, and he goes, and I think I had told Mariah that I had imprinted the kids' bracelet that day, and he goes, Mom, I really need another bracelet. He says, I left mine at a job site, and I said, well, don't do that anymore. I said, but I will get you another bracelet. He goes, I have so much energy and I feel so good on with that bracelet, and I can tell that I'm more exhausted, and it seems like I just can't get through my day without having that bracelet on. And I went, so something does work, huh? But I didn't say anything. I said, I'll get you another bracelet. And then of course now Mariah wants a ring for her. And there's family that doesn't quite believe this is some of the best ways to introduce them to frequencies is imprint their ring or their bracelet, give them a gift. I mean, they're beautiful. And then, it just looks like a bracelet or a ring to them. And then you can be imprinting it from afar. And then when they lose it or they're not wearing it, they see and feel the difference. And
Oh my gosh.
that's amazing to do for your family. So I've made sure everybody in my family has something that I can imprint from afar. And I do that so that when they lose it or they don't have it, then gee, it's got to be that.
So are you taking a picture of the bracelet and then, oh my goodness, because I gifted all of my kids the blue agate because it's
Yeah.
just beautiful. And this is funny. Two of my kids have said nothing about it, but my son, who has lots of monitor, he's a cybersecurity. He's affected by a lot of EMF, and he wears his and he can tell a big difference when he's not wearing it. And then one of my daughters, she can't wear it during the day because it makes her sleepy. When she wears it at night and she sleeps better, which I thought was really weird.
Her polarity must be off or something, maybe.
That just hit me right before you said it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that may be her issue, or she may be minerally deficient of some sort. But
it's minerals.
yeah, so this is an amazing way. I mean, most people won't wear the stuffy dots because, well, I ain't wearing that on my body, but they will wear a piece of jewelry. Or a lot of the men's, like my older son, he's a woodworker, and he wears one of the silicone wedding bands on his finger. And I asked him, I said, well, I can get you one of the SiBin rings that looks just like your silicone wedding band too. He goes, now I like this. And I'm like, okay, you just don't know what you're missing out on. But these are great ways to, introduce your family. And yeah, take a picture of whatever you gift them with, put it in spaces and objects underneath their profile, and then make a playlist just specifically for them, and then print that every 3 days. That you don't even have to disturb them. You don't have to explain anything. Mariah gets it. She gets my woo woo, and she's all for it, but she's still learning. And so I think that this is a great way to incorporate frequencies and help your family feel better.
No kidding.
Wow. I think we should have a discussion on what our friends and family call our stuff. They call your stuff woo woo, Tammy. My stuff is hocus pocus.
Yeah. Well, they've had other terms for me too. Voodoo doctor, mom's that weird witch, and I've had all kinds of things. I'm like, you guys have no idea. You have no idea.
Hi guys.
Hey,
Hey,
Jen.
So, Tammy, you just reminded me that when my mom was sick, I got her this little stuffed animal. And you know how sometimes they have those little like Velcro pouches where you can stick stuff in them? She had an amethyst that she loved, and she always, carried it on her person. So I took that and I did what you said. I put it in the objects, imprint it for her, and I put it in her stuffed animal, and she sleeps with it. It's been like what, 2 years now? She sleeps
probably
with it.
3.
And I
Probably
just
3.
constantly imprint it for her. And I put like, I have like an EMF playlist and stuff like that that I put in there for her. But it's a good idea when you have kids, to incorporate other things. So the stuffed animal would even be, a good idea for the grandbabies.
These would be really good stick in a dog bed too. I just thought of that. Or even the insoles. I mean, you could put it, one insole in one dog bed and the other one in the other dog bed and imprint those. I didn't even think about that, but
Gosh.
I am not one for shoes, so it's I don't want to wear shoes.
Same.
But I do wear tennis shoes to the gym, so I might have to get me some of the insoles for when I'm at the gym and see if that doesn't improve. I do have the patches. I'll put the patches in there for now, but
I can't
I
do the
just-
collars on the dogs because they chew them off.
and they break so easily. But what you can do is put a Cephi dot on the tag, because I've got a Cephi dot on the tag with the little sticker over it, and that usually lasts about a month. I usually switch them out once a month, and I imprint the Cephi dot on the blue tag, and I do that from afar. That way I don't have to take it off their necks or whatever, but that's how I do the dogs.
Wow.
And you could do that remotely for different animals. You could ship
Yep.
out maybe 10 or 12 Cephi dots and tell them, change these out once a month, because it's not touching their skin and they're not going to get that aluminum or anything, but it's on the actual, and they really stay nice. They stay nice for about a month, and then that little it starts looking nasty, so I just change it out.
Great idea.
Guys, when you get your blue tag, Tammy, for your
Mhm.
dogs, the little
Mhm.
blue tag,
Mhm.
make sure you write down the number that's imprinted on the tag, because my dog's had his now for about 4 or 5 months, and I can barely read the number.
Did you
I
put
don't
it in
know
the
if it's
scanner? The scanner under your pet, under the pet ID, you should have that number in the pet ID.
oh
Yeah. Put that number on your pet ID and you'll always have that number. It shouldn't go away unless you were to like delete it. But that's where that number goes, is in your pet ID underneath their profile.
yeah, I did it in the pet ID, but I didn't have brains enough to go look in the pet ID for the number, and I thought, oh damn, I've lost the number. And
Hey, Vicky, you got the number.
I got the number, Tammy. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Hey, quick question. I apologize, but I got a phone call and I had to step away. When I came back, Tammy, you were holding something in your hand that was in a bag, and it was black, like little round things.
These are the
Yes.
patches.
What kind of patches are those?
These are our SiBin patches, and they
Negative
come in-
ion.
Yeah, the
Okay.
negative ion power patch.
And I don't have those, and they're sticky.
No, they do not stick.
So where do you put those?
You put it under your headband. You would put it in your bra if you wore a bra. You would put it in between your sock and your foot. Don't put it between your sock and your shoe, because when you're walking, I've heard people say that it'll kind of work its way out, and then
You could
you'll lose a patch.
drop
Okay.
it in a
So
pocket.
basically, you imprint it and then just have it on your body.
Yep, and then you can also put it in between your phone and your phone case as a mitigator, EMF mitigator. You can put it in your pocket. Doesn't
Okay.
matter. You can pretty much.
That particular product is not one that I've explored. So thank you.
Yep. You need one. You need some.
Yep. We were talking about the the necessity for all of us to have negative ion, and how excited Lauren is that he's really honed in on that and made sure that we've got a lot of great protective things that people can use, whether if you like to wear rings, some people don't, if you like bracelets, some people don't, if you just want a patch, if you want insoles. And then even in the shaker bottle, you know, I use the little shaker bottle thing in my shakes twice a morning. But he's really excited about that because of the constant exposure that we have and the cell damage that it does. And he's like, you know, that's just, it really excites him to be able to offer that to us.
And do not forget, when you use the chapstick, there is a SiBin ball in your chapstick. There's also a SiBin ball in your Sprite. So keep those little balls, and then you can stick them in other products and imprint.
Oh, these are great conversation starters. I do the water stick in my 64-ounce mug every day. And I was actually at a clinic last week and the nurses were super excited. They're like, what's that thing in your jug? And I'm like, it's negative ions. They're like, oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So we kind of have this protection all around.
Yeah.
When you really start thinking about it, we have so many SiBin products. We've got our straw, we've got our shaker ball, we've got so many, guys, that you can be using them everywhere.
Yeah, make sure people can see them. Be a walking billboard because people are curious and they're looking for stuff that we have.
Yeah.
So Tammy, you gave me the idea one time of charging my patches like in the dashboard of my vehicle, which is an easy way for me to not forget. And although I have my vehicle in spaces and objects, you know, sometimes I forget. So I thought, well, what if I just, you know, scan the frequencies into one of them and just tossed it on my dash?
Yeah.
So I do that. I just toss it on my dashboard while I'm driving. So it's charging and I'm getting the frequencies from it. So,
and you know, that's where I kind of got that idea from, is Lauren says that he puts his bracelets on his windshield wipers when he drives in and to and from work so that they charge in the sun. So
wow.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Yeah, you want to make sure you put it on the actual windshield wiper. You don't want it just, you know, anyway, yeah.
I have a hard time remembering to get all my stuff out there every other week.
Yeah.
So mine does not get charged.
Yeah, I just make sure to put it out there every Sunday or something. So, all right, guys, we are 3 minutes from the Solex call. So I think we'll end it here, but we appreciate each and every one of you being here. We look forward to next week. Invite your interested people, but come back with some more testimonials. And Dr. Sheila, do you want to end it with anything?
Yep. Make sure that you are being a product of our products because people seriously are looking for the very things that Lauren pours his heart into making for us. So please use it, show it, attract interest, and help other people have what we have. And please share with us even the smallest things or the things that you consider small, because I mean, the things that get shared, they're big to me. I mean, I got convicted several times on this call tonight. Everybody needs to hear from you. So please share because you don't know who you're helping. And we appreciate you coming. Thank you so much. We love you so much.
Bye-bye. Thanks, everybody. Jump on the Solex call.
Woohoo!